What is going on, guys? Tomorrow the global update will be coming out, and along with that we will be getting the new Bottom Master and Disciple SBR stage. So we're going to go over what teams you guys should be running. So first off, leader wise, there are a plethora of leaders here that you guys can choose from, which is always nice. None full 170 leads, which is kind of a bummer, but there are some solid ones in here. And honestly, the category as a whole has a ton of units to use, so there will be a lot of variety for you guys to choose from. So we're not going to go over all the units, just basically the main ones that you guys will want to run. So starting it off with the leaders. First off, we have the Int Gohan here, so he's going to be Bond Master and Disciple as well as Hybrid Saiyans. He gives 130 to defense and then 170% to attack and HP, which is pretty good. He's going to greatly raise defense for one turn. On Super, his passive, he only gets 100% to attack and defense, which isn't bad, but not great. He reduces damage received by 58% when HP is 58% or less. And then he is 30% support for Bond Master and Disciple, which is nice. He does have a transformation as well. In his transformation, he gets 100% to attack, reduces damage by 58%. He now doesn't have the HP threshold for that damage reduction, which is nice. And then he's still 30% support for Bond Master and Disciples. And then he launches an additional super attack when there's an androids category enemy, which I don't believe. Let me actually pull up the SBR stage. Okay, so the first stage there actually are 2 androids, so he will get that buff for the first stage, but then the second 2 stages he won't get that additional super attack, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. So Gohan, not the greatest lead, but if you're missing a lead, he's definitely a solid option. Next up, we have Kid Han here, as people like to call him. Really solid unit. He's going to be a 150 lead all across the board. On Super, he's raising defense, causing immense damage with a medium chance of stunning as well, which is very nice. He also has a unit super, which raises defense and causes immense damage with a high chance of stunning. And that is activated when there's an ally whose name includes Piccolo or Krillin on the team. And then his passive, he gets 158% to defense, 158% to attack when supering, an additional 58% to attack and defense when there's a Heavenly Events category ally in the same turn. Another attack buff, and then he also gives all allies key +3 and defense +58%. And then his active, which is really good as well, he recovers 30% HP, guards all attacks for 1 turn, and raises all allies defense by 20% for 2 turns. And that is activated when HP is 58% or less. So he's a very good active skill. Definitely a unit you're going to want to use on your team, even if you're not using him as the leader. He is most likely a unit that you're going to want to run on the team. So very good option in the AGL Kid Han here. Another leader we have the future Trunks and Gohan. So they're going to be connected, Hopper, Bond Master, and Disciple 150 across the board as well. On Super, the 12 key, they're going to raise attack and defense. The Ultra Super, they're going to raise defense for 1 turn. They get 150% to attack and defense. They're going to change key spheres. They get an additional 58% to defense, chance of performing a crit, and damage reduction by 8% with 5 or more key spheres obtained. So you definitely want to try and get those 5 key spheres, and then an additional attack buff, as well as an additional damage reduction of 8% with 5 or more AGL key spheres obtained, and then launches an additional super with 8 or more obtained. So very dependent on key here, but if you are able to get the key, then he will be sitting very pretty. He does have an exchange as well that's activated when HP is 58% or less starting from the 3rd turn, which you most likely will hit in Super Battle Road unless you're just absolutely destroying units. So his transformation here is 12 keys, only greatly raising attack for a turn, but his Ultra Super, same thing, except now it's Mega Colossal damage. He's getting 258% to attack now. He launches an additional with 8 or more key spheres obtained. He foresees enemy super attacks when HP is 58% or less, which is very nice. And then revives with 85% HP recovered when the character is KO'd. And then he also gets his key +5, defense +58%, and reduces damage received by 58% for the rest of the battle when revival does happen. So if you're able to get that revival, that is a big plus there. So another option as a leader. We're now going to move into kind of like the sub leads, kind of less than 150. So 130 lead, we have Ultimate Gohan and Piccolo free to play, I do believe. Correctly. Or were they? No, they were a side banner unit, weren't they? I do believe he was a side banner. No, okay, he was from the World Tournament. Okay, so free to play, by the way. I'm not going to go over him, but he has a 130 lead as well. Another unit, we have the Super Saiyan Kaba, another full 130 lead there. And then I believe there's one more. Okay, we have Future Trunks here. He's only a 120 lead, but again, if you're lacking, that is a solid option. Obviously, 120 would be better than nothing. Whis is actually pretty good for Super Battle Road. He's a 120 lead as well. On his super, he's lowering attack and defense as well as sealing, which is really big. He's 100% to attack and defense. He has a great chance of evading, including supers. Gets an additional 50% to defense within the same turn with each attack evaded. And then he gives all allies 50% to attack and recovers 10% HP at the end of the turn when there's a Beerus attacking in the same turn. So not too great, but definitely a solid unit you guys could definitely run because of his attack, defense, and lower attack and defense lower. He seals and he's also dodging, so shouldn't have to worry about him taking too much damage as long as he's not having to dodge like tons of attacks. I believe that was the last official lead, but unofficially you can run this Goku here, the new 200% lead. Obviously the 200% won't kick in because there's not too much Android Cell Saga on here. If I don't want to say if any, but there's not too much. So for the most part, it'll just be a 170 lead, and you're going to have to run with Super Saiyans or Goku's family. But there are a bunch of Super Saiyan Goku's family units in the Bond Master and Disciple, so you could very well make a team. I'm not going to go over him. He's fairly new. You guys have probably seen a bunch of videos on him, but very, very, very good unit. He has a transformation unit as well, and his transformation is even better than his base form. So very solid option. Even if you're not running him as a lead, you're probably going to want to run him on your team as well. So that's another option there. The Goku and Gohan 200% lead. We have some easy A's that are thrown in here that are very solid. Some older units that recently got easy A that are very solid. So Future Trunks here is raising attack and defense on super. He gets 158% to defense, well, dependent on how much HP he has. Reduces damage received by 30%, an additional 7% damage reduction at the start of each turn up to 28%. And then an additional attack and defense plus 120% and medium chance of critting when there's a Future Saga category ally whose name includes Trunks in the same turn. So very solid easy A there. Another solid easy A we had. No, not who I wanted. Not who I wanted. We will go over that God Trunks here. But the Evolution Vegeta here. So he's raising attack and defense for one turn on super as well. He gets 100% to defense, 150 to attack. Launches 2 additionals, each of which has a rare chance of being a super, and then defense plus 20% with each attack performed up to 100%. And then he does have his evolution as well. His has a 40% chance starting from the 4th turn. And then in his evolution, he now has 130% to attack and defense, launches 2 additionals, and a chance to perform a critical hit plus 10% with each attack performed up to 70%. So another very solid easy A. And then I believe the last one... I believe there was one more. Okay, I was incorrect. That was the last easy A. So we're just going to hop into a couple more units and then we'll call it a video. So we have the God Trunks here, the Xeno unit. He is very, very good. Raises attack and defense for one turn on super as well as sealing. He gets attack and defense plus 30% for heroes category ally on the team. Won't really get that additional boost there, which kind of sucks. But he gets an additional attack and defense plus 100%. And a high chance of performing a crit when performing a super. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow as well when all allies attacking in the same turn are heroes as well. So not the greatest there either because he's not getting those additional boosts. But he is raising attack and defense, sealing, and then he does have the high chance of critting when supering, which is nice there. So a solid unit in the Xeno Trunks. Next up, we have the AGL Trunks here. Very good unit. Recently came out on Global. He's going to raise defense for one turn on Super. He gets 100% to attack and defense. An additional 100% to attack and defense when attacking. He has a great chance of launching up to 2 additionals. And then he launches in another additional that has a great chance of becoming a Super every time the character attacks 3 times in battle. And then he does have a transformation as well, which seals the enemy Super for one turn and stuns a single target, which is very nice, and that can be activated after performing 6 or more attacks. And then in his transformation, he's still going to raise attack and defense for one turn on super. He still has the 100% to attack and defense, but he now has a great chance to perform a critical hit, performs a crit guaranteed, plus an additional attack and defense plus 100% when performing a super. That is once only, though. He gets an additional attack boost, Another attack boost, blah, blah, blah. He has a high chance to stun the attacked enemy for 2 turns when all allies attacking the same turn, or Android Cell Saga, so won't really get that. So his transformation isn't too crazy because of the team that he will be run on, but still a very solid unit to run. And then 2 more units. You guys know the Evolution Vegeta here. Has aged a little bit now. He's been out for almost a year on the global side, but still a very solid unit. Not going to go over him because he's a lot to him, but still a very solid option to choose. And then lastly, free-to-play Roshi is always thrown in here. I love this unit just because he dodges as well as stunning. So he has a great chance to stun on his 12 key. On his 18 key plus, he does get a huge attack buff, but he only seals now. His passive, he gets 120% to defense and a medium chance of evading enemies' attacks. He does boost Turtle School, but there's not too many Turtle School on here. And then he does have a revive, I think. Yeah, so if HP is 50% or less at the start of a character's attacking turn, and there are 2 other... Okay, so that really won't be a big deal because the Turtle School category as well. So you can kind of cross that out, but he does have an active as well. Raises his attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to enemies. And then all allies key +7, and that can be activated after receiving 7 or more attacks in battle and when there's another Turtle School. So again, kind of dependent on Turtle School for Roshi, but still, even just his super attack abilities for a free-to-play unit are very solid. So again, there's a ton of other units on here that you guys can swap in and out. I just kind of covered the main units that are probably the best options, but again, it just depends on what you have in your box. There's a ton of other free-to-play units on here, units I didn't even cover. AGL Gohan's very good. The AGL Trunks here got an easy A recently. You have the what was he from? Super Battle Road, I think, Trunks. The Kid Han here as well. I mean, not Kid Han. Yeah, the Kid Han. AGL Kid. Physical Kid Han. Yeah, I need to just stop this video. But anyways, guys, hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, smash that like button. If you missed a previous video, we did go over the Extreme Super Battle Road that is coming up, so feel free to check that out. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new, you want to stay tuned for more content, consider going down there, hitting that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. But other than that, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your night, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.